again. So, in the previous videos, we were studying about the chapter 3 Plant Kingdom, and in that, we have studied about the various systems of classification. Okay, various scientists how they classified the plant kingdom further into different groups, and in that, we have learned about there are artificial system of classification, natural system of classification, then phylogenetic system of classification, numerical taxonomy, cytotaxonomy, and chemotaxonomy. So this much we have completed. Okay. So today we are going to study about the various groups of plants. Okay. So the various groups of plants are algae, bryophytes, okay, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. In that, we are going to start with algae. So algae, they are chlorophyll bearing simple thalloid plants, okay, autotrophic plants, and mostly they are found as aquatic organisms. Thalloid means what? The body of the plants are thallus. Thallus are undifferentiated plant body. That is, if you take the plant body of algae, you cannot distinguish this is the leaf, this is the stem, and this is the root. Likewise, there won't be any distinguishing. Okay, you cannot distinguish them. Okay, simply you can find a plant body which is green in nature and which can do photosynthesis. So that kind of plant body is known as what? Thallus. And you can find them in a number of habitats like in moist stones, soils, wood, etc. Okay, and some of them already we have studied. Lichens, isn't it? What are lichens? Lichens are association of algae and fungi. Okay, so as what lichens also you can see them, and some of them you can see on animals. These are very rare things. Okay, means very rarely you can find them as what lichens or on animals. For example, on sloth bear. Okay, you can see some kind of algae. So these are some of them are there like that also, but otherwise they are mostly aquatic. Okay, and their size of the thallus also varies. Some of them are simple, what only one cell is there, they are unicellular. Example is what? Chlamydomonas. Have you heard about Chlamydomonas? Okay, Chlamydomonas is an example for a unicellular algae. Okay, unicellular algae. And some others are colonial. Colonial means what? In group, colony. Okay, they live, for example, volvox. And some are filamentous, just like a filament. Okay, for example, Ulothrix. Ulothrix you wouldn't have heard, but you would have, of course, heard about Spirogyra. Isn't it? Spirogyra, you have done this diagram. You have drawn the diagram in your practical copy also in 9th class. Isn't it? They are simple filamentous forms. So they are what? Their thallus structure varies a lot. Okay, there are lot of variation in their thallus structure. Then the reproduction, if you see, they can do vegetative type of reproduction, asexual type of reproduction, or sexual type of reproduction. Okay, so vegetative reproduction is mainly by fragmentation. Okay, so what happens in fragmentation? You have studied in 10th class. What is it? That is, the filamentous get divided into small fragments, and these fragments will grow into new organism. Understood? Then asexual reproduction is by the production of different types of spores, and the most common spores is zoospores. Have you heard about zoospores? Yes, you have studied in where in the fungus, isn't it? Zoospores are the what? The asexual spores. Okay, so zoospores, what is the speciality of them? They are flagellated ones. Flagellated means, zoo means what? Animals. So flagellated and see the what the characteristic of this movement is related to what? Animals. That's what the name is given as zoospores. Zoospores. Is it clear? So why they are given the names? They can move. Okay, that is the characteristic feature of animals, isn't it? And then so the speciality of them are what? They are flagellated and they can move, motile. Okay, motile, or they can move. On this zoospores, on germination, they give rise to new plants. Okay, and sexual reproduction, obviously it will be due to the fusion of two gametes. Okay, so you can see that the sexual reproduction can be divided into three types, that is isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. This also we have studied, isn't it? So isogamous means what? If uh, the gametes, that is male and female gametes, are similar in size. Okay, similar in size, and they are flagellated, as in case of chlamydomonas, or sometimes you can see they may be non-flagellated, means non-motile, and they will be similar in size. Okay, example is what? In Spirogyra. Anyway, if the male and female gametes, whether it is flagellated or not, if they are of the same size, okay, then we call it as what? Isogamous. Okay, then if the gametes are dissimilar in size, okay, for example some species of chlamydomonas, okay, then they are known as anisogamous and anisogamous. Then another type is what? That is oogamous type. Oogamous means if the fusion of gametes takes place between two different sized gametes, that is one is large and non-motile, that is it will be the female gamete, and the male gamete will be small and motile. Okay, small and motile. Then the type of reproduction is known as sexual reproduction is known as oogamous type. So oogamous type is the common type found even in advanced or higher organisms like human being, isn't it? Sperm is very small and motile when compared to what? The female female gamete or egg, isn't it? Egg is non-motile and big. Okay, so these are the three kinds of what? Sexual reproduction. What are they? Isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. Example for oogamous type of means examples of organisms that carry out oogamous type of sexual reproduction in algae is volvox and fucus. What is it? Volvox and fucus. Okay, so you just go through the names. Some names only we are studying, so that 2-3 times when you repeat you will get it. Okay, then so these are what? See, this is volvox. Okay, the volvox, the colonial form of algae, and this is what? Unicellular, chlamydomonas. Okay, chlamydomonas. Then you can see various filamentous type. Okay, then ribbon shape, likewise different types are there. Okay, so what is the economic importance of algae? Do they useful to human being in any way? Yes. Okay, that is in aquatic ecosystem they are the main producers. Okay, even though they are small in size, very microscopic, some of them are microscopic also, and some are what? Visible through our eyes. Okay, for so even though they are small in size, some of them are small in size, the number will be very high, okay, in the aquatic ecosystem, and they form the major producers. Okay, so photosynthesis is done mainly by this algae. Okay, and they give what? They increase the level of dissolved oxygen because they do photosynthesis. Okay, then some of them are edible also. Okay, so some in some part of the world, okay, some of the algae like porphyra, okay, then laminaria, sargassum. Okay, this you have to learn. What are they? Porphyra, laminaria and sargassum. Okay, so among some of these are examples of algae which are used as food. Okay, so some of the algae which are edible as edible, okay, or used as food. Okay, Then another important feature or economic importance is they produce what some of the algae they produce, especially red algae. Okay, they produce some hydrocolloids. Hydrocolloids means what? Which can hold water holding substances they are. Okay, like what? Algin and carrageenan. Okay, carrageen. So these carrageen is produced by red algae and algin is produced by brown algae. Okay, so they are commercially useful. Okay, so these algin and carrageen are what? Water holding substances or hydrocolloids produced by red algae and brown algae and red algae. Okay, algin is produced by brown algae and carrageen by red algae. Then another important economically important product that we are getting from algae is agar. Okay, agar. What is it? Agar. Okay, so this agar is obtained from mainly from two different algae, that is Gelidium and Gracilaria. What is it? Gelidium and Gracilaria, and they are used. This agar is used as a solidifying agent. Means they when they are actually what now can be used for the preparation of medium agriculture. The tissue culture medium or for the medium for the growth of certain microbes in labs and all. Microbes are grown, isn't it? Sometimes fungus can be grown, sometimes bacteria can be, or the scientists used to grow them, and for the growth of them they need a medium which is semi solid. It should not be hard, it should not be liquid. So semi solid type of medium they want, and for this we use what? Agar is used to make the the semi solid nutrient medium, and also this agar is used in the preparation of ice creams, jellies, etc., due to their the semi solid nature. Okay, then another kind is what? Another group is another economic important is some of them are very rich in proteins and can be used as the food supplement. Okay, even by the space travelers when they go to the space. Okay, the scientists when they go to the space they need food, and for this, okay, as this chlorella, spirulina, these are what microorganisms or unicellular algae, and they can be grown in a small space. They can be grown, and they are very good source of protein, so they are used by this space travelers for their food. Okay, single cell proteins, spirulina is very famous as single cell protein, means they are used for the food supplement. Okay, as the food supplement, as they grow very fast and they can be harvested. Okay, and so these are the major economic importance of algae. So what are the economic importance of algae? So they are producers, they increase the dissolved oxygen in the aquatic ecosystem. Some of them produce what? The hydrocolloids. Okay, water holding substances like algin and carrageen. Then some are producing what? Agar, another commercially important substance from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Okay, and some of them are edible like Porphyra, Laminaria, and Sargassum. And then what? Some of them some of them can be used as what? The food supplement even by the space travels. So these are what? The economic importance of algae. Now the algae is divided into three major groups. Okay, what are they? Chlorophyceae. Okay, Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, and Rhodophyceae. What are this? These are the three main classes. Okay, Phyceae you remember. Then rest you see Chlorophyceae, chlorophylls. Okay, from that Chlorophyceae. Then Phaeophyceae. Okay, and then Rhodophyceae. Okay, Chlorophyceae is also known as green algae. Phaeophyceae is known as brown algae, and Rhodophyceae is known as the red algae. Okay, so three different kinds of algae groups. Okay, main classes, three main classes are Chlorophyceae. Phyceae is common. Okay, Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, and Rhodophyceae. Okay, if it is very difficult, once you write in your copy, so that you will understand these terms. Now it is a little bit difficult, so you can write and practice once. Okay, then so we'll study in detail about the various groups. So the first one is what? Chlorophyceae, or they are also known as what? Green algae. Okay, and their plant body, the body can be unicellular, as in case of what? Our Chlamydomonas, or colonial, or filamentous. Okay, and the major characteristic is what? The pigments. The major pigments found in them are chlorophyll A and B. Okay, the chlorophyll A and B, even you can find them in higher plants. So this is one of the major important character of green algae. What is that? The pigments are chlorophyll A and B. Okay, and they are located in different in chloroplast. Do you remember what are chloroplast? Chloroplast is the organelle where you can find the chlorophylls, isn't it? And the chloroplast shape is very what important in this group, that is they can have different types or shapes. The shapes of the chloroplast varies in this chlorophyceae. They can be discoid, plate like, reticulate, cup shaped, spiral, ribbon shaped. Ribbon shaped you have studied, isn't it? Where you have studied in Spirogyra. Have you drawn? Do you remember in your copy in 9th class you have drawn? Okay, Spirogyra with ribbon shape. Ribbon shaped chloroplast is there, and in in Chlamydomonas it is cup shaped. So the shape of the chloroplast is varying differently in this group. Okay, and then this chloroplast is having certain structures known as pyrenoids. Okay, what are they? Pyrenoids, and this pyrenoids contains protein and starch. Okay, so they store the food materials. Which one? Pyrenoids. Where you can find this pyrenoids? On the chloroplast. Okay, so their cell wall is made up of cellulose, and you can see an outer layer of pectose. Cellulose and pectose. Okay, outer layer of pectose you can see, and the inner layer of cellulose. Okay, then vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Okay, and asexual reproduction is by spores. Okay, then asexual reproduction is by zoospores. Okay, zoospores. Then sexual reproduction, you can see what? Isogamous, anisogamous, or oogamous. Examples of Chlamydomonas, examples of Chlorophyceae are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, and Chiara. Okay, so these are the examples of what? The kind of Chlorophyceae. Okay, so did you understand what is the major characteristic of Chlorophyceae? Pigments you have to remember. Okay, chloroplast, they vary in shape. Then you have to say about the cell wall. Okay, the stored food materials where you can find in pyrenoids. Okay, then you have to study about the examples of Chlorophyceae. Okay, then next is what? Phaeophyceae. They are also known as what? Brown algae, and they are mainly found, okay, in marine habitats, means in sea. Okay, and this kind of algae, their size varies a lot. Okay, so you can see simple branched ones, filamentous forms are there, ectocarpus. Okay, and some of them are highly branched and can reach to the height of 100 meters. Means 100 meters means it is means having nicely it is having height. Okay, their height is can reach to 100 meters also. Okay, and then another difference you see, their pigments. The major pigments are chlorophyll A and C. In Chlorophyceae, what it was? Chlorophyll A and B. And in addition to that, they have carotenoids and xanthophylls. Okay, carotenoids, these are the pigments mainly present in carrot. Okay, then xanthophylls, they are yellow colored pigments. And this xanthophylls are also of different types, and in xanthophylls the major type of pigment that is found in Phaeophyceae is fucoxanthin. What it is? Fucoxanthin. Clear? This, due to this presence of fucoxanthin, okay, their color also is becoming what? Brown. Okay, brown algae. They are also known as brown algae. Depends upon the amount of xanthophyll pigment, that is fucoxanthin, present in them. Okay, then the reserved food material, okay, that is they store the food material in the form of laminarin or mannitol. These are carbohydrates only, okay, laminarin and mannitol. Okay, they store the food material in the form of what? Laminarin or mannitol. What is this? Carbohydrates only. Okay, so in Chlorophyceae, what, how they store? Starch, in the form of starch, okay, or proteins. So here you can see laminarin or mannitol is the what? Reserved food material. Okay, then you can see the cell wall, okay, is having a gelatinous cellulosic cell wall is there, and outside that, or it is covered by a gelatinous coating of algin. Okay, algin is there, and they are having what? Vacuoles, because vacuole is very important as they are big sized, isn't it? So they have to float on the surface of water. And you can see another speciality here, that is the plant body is thallus only. You cannot say it has root, stem, leaf. Likewise, you cannot distinguish, but still you can see some development as what? A root like structure known as holdfast, okay, a stalk like structure known as stipe, and a leaf like structure known as frond. Okay, so these are what? You can see leaf like. Okay, some distinguishing of thallus you can see, that is in some plants the thallus is differentiated into a root like, which attaches to the substratum, that is known as holdfast, and a stalk known as stipe, and a photosynthetic type of region or organ that is known as frond. Okay, vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, asexual reproduction by zoospores. And the zoospores are having little bit speciality, that is they are pear shaped. Pear, you have seen no pear? So pear shaped, and they are having two flagella that are attached laterally, not to the tip of them, they are attached to the lateral side. Okay, laterally or to the sides they are attached. Then sexual reproduction can be isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous. Okay, and the gametes are also pyriform, pear shaped, and they also contain two laterally attached flagella. Okay, the common forms, the most common forms of Phaeophyceae are Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Laminaria, Sargassum and Fucus. These are the different groups of what? Brown algae. So do you remember what are the specialities of brown algae? Brown algae, what is the pigment present in them? The chlorophyll, A, C, carotenoids and xanthophylls. Okay, and fucoxanthin is a kind of xanthophyll only. Okay, so these are the major pigments. Okay, then food is reserved, or reserved food is found in the form of laminarin and mannitol. Cell wall is having what? A gelatinous coating of algin. Okay, then the plant body in some form is differentiated into holdfast, stipe and frond, isn't it? Then asexual spores, the zoospores are special. What is the speciality of them? They are pear shaped, isn't it? They are having two flagella, but they are unequal in size, and they are attached laterally. Okay, then sexual reproduction is by isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous type. Okay, the gametes are pyriform and they contain two laterally attached flagella. So this is clear now. Examples are Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Laminaria, sargassum and fucus. Clear? Then next group is rhodophyceae, or also known as these are also known as what? Red algae, because of a special pigment present in them known as R-phycoerythrin. What it is? Phycoerythrin. This is what? Red pigment. So due to this the presence of this red pigment, they will be red in color. Understood? And they are marine. Most of them are marine. Okay, and especially in warmer areas. Okay, so they are found in where? In the sea or in the ocean, and they are found especially in the marine regions. Okay, and the food stored in them is Floridian starch. Okay, what it is? Floridian starch. Okay, so Floridian starch is the stored food material in where? Red algae. Okay, and they reproduce by fragmentation vegetatively and asexually by non-motile spores. That is another important feature. Okay, so mainly they reproduce asexually by non-motile spores and sexually by non-motile, sexually also by non-motile gametes. Okay, and the sexual reproduction is oogamous type, and then the major members of this groups are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria and Gelidium. You have already studied, isn't it? They produce what? Agar. Understood? So in this group, what is the speciality? You can see the red pigment. What is that? R-phycoerythrin. Okay, and most of them are marine. Okay, and then the reserved food material found in them is Floridian starch, which is similar to amylopectin and glycogen. Amylopectin, glycogen, etc. are what? Carbohydrates only. Okay, so they are, another feature is they produce non-motile spores. So if you compare them, okay, different groups of algae, you can see that chlorophyceae or green algae is the pigment present in them is chlorophyll A and B. Okay, and here in Phaeophyceae or brown algae, it is chlorophyll A and C and fucoxanthin, which is a kind of xanthophyll. Then in red algae, chlorophyll A and D along with phycoerythrin. Okay, the reserved food material in chlorophyceae is starch, and in this one in Phaeophyceae it is mannitol and laminarin, and in red algae it is Floridian starch. Okay, cell wall is made up of cellulose, where in brown algae, sorry, in green algae, cellulose and algin in where in the Phaeophyceae or brown red algae, and the cell wall of red algae is made up of cellulose. Okay, then the number of flagella is 2 to 8 in chlorophyceae. Okay, then they are equal in size and they are attached to the tip. But in here in Phaeophyceae it is 2, number is 2, they are unequal in size and they are attached laterally, and in Rhodophyceae there won't be any flagella. Okay, and habitat, if you see fresh water, brackish water, salt water, everywhere you can see chlorophyceae. Okay, and Phaeophyceae, when you see fresh water rarely, brackish water and salt water you can see them. Okay, and when you come to Rhodophyceae, fresh water some, okay, and brackish water and salt water, that is most of them are found in salt water or marine conditions. So this is clear to everyone. So we studied about 3 groups of algae in this class, isn't it? What are they? Chlorophyceae, then Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae. Okay, so you have to study this comparison also, and you have to just go through the what the examples. Okay, so this is what this is Volvox. Okay, Volvox, it's a colonial form and it's an example for Chlorophyceae. See, unicellular Chlorophyceae, and this is Cara. Okay, so these all are what examples of what Chlorophyceae. Okay, then Next is what? Next is Phaeophyceae. Examples are, you can see here, okay, Phaeophyceae examples, that is Laminaria, okay, then Fucus and Dictyota, okay. This is Laminaria, this is Fucus, and this is Dictyota, okay, Dictyota. And then you can see here, this is the red algae, that is Porphyra, okay, Porphyra, this is Porphyra, and okay, and this is Polysiphonia. These are examples of red algae. So hope everyone understood, and you please go through the chapter, read it nicely, and then you can note down the major main points, okay, and read it, okay. Without reading and writing this difficult names, it will be difficult for you. So thank you.